On the stormy Thanksgiving Eve of November 24, 1971, a man boarded Northwest Orient Airlines Flight 305 in Portland, Oregon, bound for Seattle, Washington. He was an unremarkable figure in his mid-40s, dressed in a dark suit, white shirt, and black tie with a briefcase in hand. He purchased a one-way ticket under the name Dan Cooper, a name that would become legendary as D.B. Cooper, the most infamous skyjacker in American history. The events that transpired during that 30-minute flight would spark one of the longest and most intensive manhunts ever conducted by the FBI. Cooper handed a note to the flight attendant, Florence Schaffner, indicating that he had a bomb in his briefcase. What followed was a series of calculated moves by Cooper, who demanded $200,000 in ransom and 4 parachutes in exchange for the lives of the passengers and crew. After the plane landed in Seattle, Cooper's demands were met, and he released the passengers in exchange for the money and parachutes. He then instructed the flight crew to set a course for Mexico City, with specific flight instructions that included flying at a low altitude and slow speed. Somewhere over the rugged terrain of the Pacific Northwest, Cooper opened the rear air stair and parachuted into the night, vanishing without a trace. The mystery of D.B. Cooper has captivated the public imagination for decades. Despite an exhaustive investigation, the identity of D.B. Cooper and his ultimate fate remain unknown. The case has spawned countless theories, suspects, and cultural references, cementing Cooper's place in American folklore. In this book, we will delve deep into the enigma of D.B. Cooper, examining the intricate details of the hijacking, the exhaustive efforts of law enforcement, and the many theories that have emerged over the years. From the initial investigation to the latest developments, we will explore every facet of the case, seeking to understand the man behind the legend and the legacy he left behind. The fateful flight, Thanksgiving Eve, 1971. It was a typical dreary November day in the Pacific Northwest. Passengers at Portland International Airport were busy with their Thanksgiving travel plans, eager to reunite with family and friends. Among them was a man who would soon become the subject of one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in American history. The man purchased his ticket at the Northwest Orient Airlines counter using the name Dan Cooper. He was described as a quiet, unassuming individual, approximately 5'10" to 6 inches tall, with a slender build and wearing a dark suit, white shirt, black tie, and sunglasses. He boarded Flight 305, a Boeing 727 aircraft, and took his seat in the rear of the plane 18C. Flight 305 was a short 30-minute hop from Portland to Seattle, a route that the airline operated multiple times a day. As the plane ascended to its cruising altitude, the man in seat 18C ordered a bourbon and soda, smoking cigarettes and appearing calm and collected. He handed a note to flight attendant Florence Schaffner, who initially thought it was a phone number from a lonely passenger. When she tucked it into her pocket without reading it, Cooper leaned in and whispered, "Miss, you'd better look at that note. I have a bomb." The note was printed in neat, all-capital letters and stated that Cooper had a bomb in his briefcase. Schaffner, understandably shaken, asked to see the bomb. Cooper opened the briefcase just enough for her to glimpse a mass of wires, red sticks, and a battery. He then dictated his demands: $200,000 in cash, 4 parachutes, 2 primary and 2 reserve, and a fuel truck standing by in Seattle to refuel the plane for a non-stop flight to Mexico City. Schaffner relayed the demands to the cockpit, and Captain William Scott contacted Seattle-Tacoma International Airport and the airline's headquarters. The passengers were unaware of the hijacking, being told that their arrival in Seattle would be delayed due to a minor mechanical difficulty. The airline and the FBI scrambled to gather the ransom money and parachutes. The ransom was collected from several Seattle-area banks, with the serial numbers recorded for future tracking. The parachutes were sourced from a local skydiving school. As the plane circled Puget Sound awaiting the delivery of the ransom and parachutes, tensions were high. Cooper remained calm and polite, even offering to request meals for the flight crew. At 5:24 p.m., the plane landed at Seattle-Tacoma International Airport. The ransom and parachutes were brought aboard by airline staff, and Cooper allowed the 36 passengers and 2 flight attendants to disembark. Only the cockpit crew and 1 flight attendant, Tina Mucklow, remained on board. With the money and parachutes in hand, Cooper instructed the flight crew to plot a course for Mexico City, specifying an altitude of 10,000 feet, a speed of no more than 200 knots, and keeping the landing gear deployed. He also ordered the cabin to remain unpressurized. These instructions were unusual, indicating a level of knowledge about aviation that puzzled the authorities. As the plane took off from Seattle, Cooper prepared for his daring escape. He directed Mucklow to join the rest of the crew in the cockpit and remain there with the door closed. At approximately 8 p.m., over the dense forests of the Pacific Northwest, Cooper lowered the rear air stair and, with the ransom money strapped to his body, parachuted into the stormy night. The plane landed safely in Reno, Nevada, where FBI agents and law enforcement officers swarmed the aircraft. Cooper was gone, leaving behind only a clip-on tie, a tie clasp, and 2 of the 4 parachutes. The immediate search efforts were hampered by the difficult terrain and poor weather conditions. The FBI launched an extensive investigation, interviewing witnesses, analyzing the ransom money, and exploring countless leads. Despite their efforts, Cooper's identity and whereabouts remained elusive. The story of D.B. Cooper has become a part of American folklore, inspiring books, movies, and even songs. The mystery endures, as each new theory and piece of evidence adds to the legend of the elusive skyjacker who vanished without a trace, leaving behind a trail of intrigue and speculation. The man in seat 18C. The identity of the man who called himself Dan Cooper remains one of the most enduring mysteries in modern criminal history. As Flight 305 prepared for its brief journey from Portland to Seattle, no one suspected that one of the passengers held a meticulous plan to hijack the aircraft. Dan Cooper's appearance was intentionally nondescript. Witnesses described him as a white male in his mid-40s with dark hair and brown eyes. His clothing was equally unremarkable: a business suit, a black tie, and a white shirt. He wore sunglasses, adding an air of anonymity. Cooper's behavior before and during the flight was calm and collected. Upon boarding, he took a seat in the last row on the right-hand side of the plane. He carried a black briefcase, which he placed on the seat next to him. Flight attendants later recounted that he was polite and soft-spoken, exhibiting none of the agitation or nervousness one might expect from someone about to commit a high-stakes crime. Once seated, Cooper ordered a bourbon and soda and paid for his drink in cash, tipping the flight attendant generously. As the plane taxied and took off, Cooper waited until the aircraft reached cruising altitude before initiating his plan. His choice of timing indicated a precise understanding of flight operations, reinforcing the notion that he had carefully planned every detail of the hijacking. The note Cooper handed to flight attendant Florence Schaffner was concise and to the point. Schaffner initially ignored the note, assuming it was a flirtatious gesture, but Cooper's insistence soon made it clear that this was no ordinary interaction. "Miss, you'd better look at that note. I have a bomb," he calmly stated. The note, written in neat block letters, outlined his demands for $200,000 in unmarked bills and 4 parachutes. Schaffner, following airline protocol, relayed Cooper's demands to the cockpit. Captain William Scott immediately contacted air traffic control, setting into motion a series of urgent communications between the airline, the FBI, and airport authorities. While the passengers remained oblivious to the unfolding drama, the flight crew worked swiftly to comply with Cooper's instructions. Cooper's calm demeanor continued as the plane circled the Seattle area, awaiting the preparation of the ransom and parachutes. He instructed Schaffner to sit beside him, occasionally engaging in small talk. At one point, he remarked, "It's a nice day for a parachute jump." His behavior was unnervingly casual, considering the gravity of the situation. When the plane landed at Seattle-Tacoma International Airport, the airport was surrounded by law enforcement, media, and curious onlookers. Cooper's demands were met without resistance. The authorities feared any deviation could lead to a catastrophic outcome. The $200,000 ransom collected from several Seattle-area banks was delivered in a knapsack, and the 4 parachutes were sourced from a local skydiving school. The delivery of the ransom and parachutes was orchestrated with precision. An airline employee approached the plane, carrying the items to the rear stairway as instructed by Cooper. True to his word, Cooper released the passengers and 2 of the flight attendants, retaining only Tina Mucklow and the cockpit crew. His next set of instructions was specific. The plane was to fly to Mexico City at an altitude of 10,000 feet, with the landing gear down and the cabin unpressurized. As the plane refueled and prepared for departure, Cooper's meticulous planning became even more evident. He instructed Mucklow to join the rest of the crew in the cockpit and to close the door behind her. The cockpit crew complied, adhering strictly to his demands. At approximately 7:40 p.m., Flight 305 took off from Seattle, heading south. Cooper remained unseen by the crew in the cockpit. He meticulously prepared for his jump, securing the ransom money and donning a parachute. At around 8:00 p.m., the rear air stair was deployed, creating a noticeable change in the plane's aerodynamics. Somewhere over the dense forests of Washington state, amidst heavy rain and turbulent winds, Cooper jumped into the night. The immediate aftermath of Cooper's daring escape was marked by chaos and uncertainty. The plane landed safely in Reno, Nevada, but Cooper was gone. FBI agents swarmed the aircraft, searching for any clues that might indicate his identity or whereabouts. The only items left behind were Cooper's black clip-on tie, a tie clasp, and 2 of the 4 parachutes. The investigation into the man in seat 18C began in earnest. The FBI compiled a comprehensive profile of Cooper based on witness statements and physical evidence. He was described as being knowledgeable about aircraft and parachuting, suggesting possible military training or an aviation background. The recorded serial numbers of the ransom money were distributed to banks, casinos, racetracks, and other businesses that handled large amounts of cash. Despite their extensive efforts, the FBI was unable to identify Cooper. Sketches based on witness descriptions were circulated nationwide, leading to numerous tips and potential leads, but none yielded concrete results. Cooper seemed to have vanished into thin air, leaving behind a trail of questions and speculation. The case of D.B. Cooper remains a compelling enigma. The man who hijacked Flight 305 displayed a level of audacity, precision, and composure that has fascinated law enforcement, historians, and the public for decades. As we continue to explore this mystery, we delve deeper into the investigation, the suspects, and the myriad theories that have emerged, all in an attempt to unravel the identity and fate of the elusive skyjacker. The hijacking unfolds. The hijacking of Northwest Orient Flight 305 was a meticulously executed operation, unlike any the FBI had encountered before. From the moment the note was handed to flight attendant Florence Schaffner, a chilling sequence of events began to unfold, capturing the attention of the entire nation. After receiving the note, Schaffner discreetly made her way to the cockpit to inform Captain William Scott of the hijacker's demands. The captain immediately contacted air traffic control, initiating a chain of communications that would involve the airline's headquarters, the FBI, and airport authorities. The safety of the passengers and crew was paramount, and every effort was made to comply with the hijacker's instructions. As the plane circled Puget Sound, the passengers remained unaware of the true nature of the delay. Cooper had instructed Schaffner to sit beside him, maintaining a calm and courteous demeanor that belied the gravity of the situation. He even reassured her that everyone would be fine as long as his demands were met. His composure suggested a man in complete control, unfazed by the dramatic events he had set in motion. On the ground, the authorities scrambled to gather the required ransom money and parachutes. The $200,000 in cash was assembled from several Seattle area banks, each bill's serial number carefully recorded for future reference. The parachutes were procured from a local skydiving school, with 2 primary chutes and 2 reserve chutes provided as specified. At 5:24 p.m., the plane landed at Seattle-Tacoma International Airport. Cooper allowed Schaffner to open the door and bring the ransom money and parachutes aboard. True to his word, Cooper released the passengers and 2 of the flight attendants, retaining only Tina Mucklow and the cockpit crew. His next instructions were precise. The plane was to take off again, heading south towards Mexico City, flying at an altitude of 10,000 feet, a speed of no more than 200 knots, and with the landing gear down. The cabin was to remain unpressurized. The specificity of these demands indicated a sophisticated understanding of aviation and skydiving. Cooper's knowledge suggested he had either undergone extensive research or had a background in these areas. As the plane refueled and prepared for its second departure, Cooper remained calm, methodically preparing for the next phase of his plan. Once airborne, Cooper instructed Mucklow to join the rest of the crew in the cockpit and close the door behind her. The crew complied, leaving Cooper alone in the cabin. At approximately 8 p.m., the rear air stair was deployed, causing a noticeable change in the plane's aerodynamics. Somewhere over the dense forests of southwestern Washington, in the midst of a stormy night, Cooper made his daring escape. The moment Cooper stepped off the air stair into the freezing night air, he became a ghost. The plane continued to Reno, Nevada, where it landed safely. Law enforcement agents swarmed the aircraft, finding only Cooper's black clip-on tie, a tie clasp, and 2 of the 4 parachutes left behind. The hijacker had vanished into the wilderness below, leaving behind a baffled and frustrated team of investigators. The immediate aftermath of the hijacking was marked by a massive search effort. The FBI launched an extensive manhunt, scouring the rugged terrain of Washington and Oregon where they believed Cooper might have landed. Search teams braved the elements, combing through forests and riverbanks, but found no trace of the skyjacker or the ransom money. The investigation soon expanded beyond the initial search area. Agents interviewed hundreds of witnesses, reviewed passenger manifests, and scrutinized every detail of the flight and Cooper's behavior. Sketches based on eyewitness descriptions were circulated widely, leading to numerous tips and potential leads. However, none of these efforts brought them any closer to identifying D.B. Cooper. The hijacking had an immediate and profound impact on aviation security. Airlines and the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, quickly implemented new procedures to prevent similar incidents. The most notable of these was the installation of peepholes in cockpit doors, allowing the flight crew to monitor the cabin without opening the door. Additionally, the Cooper vane, a device designed to prevent the air stair from being deployed in flight, became standard equipment on Boeing 727s and other aircraft. As the months turned into years, the case of D.B. Cooper remained unsolved. The FBI continued to pursue leads, often sparked by individuals claiming to know Cooper's identity or professing to be the hijacker themselves. The agency kept the case open, driven by the hope that a breakthrough might eventually emerge. In the years following the hijacking, various theories and suspects surfaced, each adding a layer of intrigue to the case. Some believed Cooper did not survive the jump, succumbing to the elements or perishing in a hard landing. Others speculated that he had meticulously planned his escape and was living quietly under an assumed identity. The cultural impact of D.B. Cooper was significant. He became a folk hero of sorts, a symbol of daring and defiance. The story of the man who hijacked a plane, demanded a ransom, and then disappeared into the night captured the public imagination and inspired books, movies, and songs. The mystery of his identity and fate added to the legend, making D.B. Cooper is an enduring figure in American folklore. As we continue our exploration of this enigmatic case, the subsequent videos will delve into the initial investigation, the search for clues, the various suspects and theories, and the lasting impact on aviation security and popular culture. The story of D.B. Cooper is a complex tapestry of audacity, mystery, and relentless pursuit, one that continues to fascinate and baffle both experts and enthusiasts alike. The parachute escape. The audacity and precision of D.B. Cooper's escape has fascinated investigators and the public for decades. The parachute jump itself was a feat of daring that required not only nerve but also significant knowledge and skill. As Flight 305 soared into the night sky, heading south from Seattle, the hijacker prepared for his leap into the unknown. After instructing flight attendant Tina Mucklow to join the cockpit crew and close the door behind her, Cooper was left alone in the cabin with the ransom money and parachutes. He methodically prepared for his jump, securing the money bag to his body and selecting the appropriate parachute. Among the four provided, he chose one primary chute and one reserve, both of which were from a local skydiving school. At approximately 8 p.m., the rear air stair of the Boeing 727 was lowered, causing a significant change in the aircraft's aerodynamics. This was a crucial moment as it indicated to the flight crew in the cockpit that Cooper was about to make his escape. The pilots had no visual confirmation as they were sealed in the cockpit per Cooper's instructions, but the sudden change in the plane's stability was unmistakable. The conditions that night were far from ideal for a parachute jump. The weather was stormy, with rain, strong winds, and temperatures near freezing at the altitude Cooper intended to jump. Moreover, the terrain below was a mix of dense forests, rugged mountains, and fast-flowing rivers, presenting a significant challenge for even the most experienced parachutist. As the plane flew over southwestern Washington near the Lewis River, Cooper stepped off the air stair into the night. The precise location of his jump remains uncertain, but investigators estimate it occurred somewhere between Seattle and Reno, Nevada. The FBI later reconstructed the flight path and used radar data to narrow down the probable drop zone, focusing their search efforts on a large area of dense wilderness. The initial search for Cooper was one of the most extensive manhunts in U.S. history. The FBI, along with local law enforcement and military personnel, scoured the suspected drop zone for weeks, hoping to find any trace of the skyjacker. They searched by land, water, and air using helicopters and fixed-wing aircraft to cover the vast, rugged terrain. However, the search was hampered by poor weather conditions and the sheer size and remoteness of the area. Despite their efforts, no definitive evidence of Cooper or his parachute was found. The dense forest and difficult terrain made it possible for a skilled parachutist to evade detection, but it also raised the possibility that Cooper had not survived the jump. The FBI considered both scenarios: that Cooper had successfully escaped and was living under an assumed identity, or that he had perished in the wilderness, his body hidden by the thick underbrush and rugged landscape. Over the years, various pieces of potential evidence surfaced, sparking new leads and renewed search efforts. In 1980, a young boy named Brian Ingram found several deteriorating bundles of 20 bills along the banks of the Columbia River, about 20 miles from the suspected drop zone. The serial numbers on the bills matched those of the ransom money, providing the first tangible clue in the case since the night of the hijacking. This discovery led investigators to focus on the riverbanks and surrounding areas, but no additional evidence was uncovered. Theories about Cooper's fate abound. Some believe he did not survive the jump, succumbing to injuries or the harsh environment. Others speculate that he meticulously planned his escape and had an accomplice waiting to help him after he landed. Various suspects have been proposed over the years, ranging from seasoned criminals to ordinary citizens with a knack for adventure. One of the most compelling aspects of the D.B. Cooper case is the hijacker's apparent expertise in aviation and parachuting. His demands for specific flight conditions, his calm demeanor, and his choice of parachute suggest a man with significant knowledge and experience. Some investigators have theorized that Cooper had a military background, possibly as a paratrooper, which would explain his familiarity with parachutes and aircraft. The FBI's investigation into the case, codenamed NORJAC, Northwest Hijacking, spanned decades. Agents followed up on thousands of tips, interviewed hundreds of potential suspects, and analyzed countless pieces of evidence. Despite these efforts, the case remained unsolved, and in 2016, the FBI officially closed the active investigation, citing the need to allocate resources to more pressing cases. However, the Bureau left the case open in a limited capacity, inviting the public to submit any new evidence or leads. The mystery of D.B. Cooper has inspired numerous books, documentaries, and movies, each offering its own interpretation of the events and potential solutions to the enigma. The case has also become a part of popular culture, symbolizing the allure of the unknown and the enduring appeal of a well-executed caper. As we continue our journey through this fascinating case, the subsequent videos will delve into the initial investigation, the suspects, the various theories that have emerged over the years, and the impact of the hijacking on aviation security. The story of D.B. Cooper is a complex and captivating tale of audacity, mystery, and relentless pursuit, one that continues to intrigue and baffle both experts and enthusiasts alike. The initial investigation into the D.B. Cooper hijacking was a massive, unprecedented effort by the FBI and other law enforcement agencies. From the moment Flight 305 landed in Reno without its enigmatic hijacker, the hunt for Cooper began in earnest. The FBI quickly realized that they were dealing with a highly intelligent and resourceful criminal, and they mobilized every available resource to track him down. The first step was to secure the Boeing 727 and collect any evidence that Cooper might have left behind. FBI agents meticulously searched the aircraft, finding Cooper's black clip-on tie clasp, and 2 parachutes. The black briefcase he had brandished during the hijacking was not found, leading to speculation that he had either discarded it before the jump or taken it with him. The tie, however, proved to be a significant piece of evidence. It was sent to the FBI laboratory for analysis, and forensic experts hoped it might yield clues about Cooper's identity. Despite thorough examination, including DNA testing years later, the tie did not provide any conclusive leads. The next priority was to establish the exact flight path and pinpoint the probable drop zone. This was a challenging task as the plane had flown through heavy rain and strong winds, and the pilots had no visual confirmation of Cooper's jump. The FBI worked with the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, and the U.S. Air Force to reconstruct the flight path using radar data and witness reports from the flight crew. They estimated that Cooper had jumped somewhere over the dense forests of southwestern Washington, near the Lewis River. The search area was vast and rugged, presenting significant challenges for search teams. The FBI, along with local law enforcement and military personnel, combed through the suspected drop zone, searching for any trace of Cooper or the ransom money. Search teams faced harsh weather conditions, difficult terrain, and the inherent dangers of navigating through dense forests and riverbanks. Despite their exhaustive efforts, no definitive evidence was found. While the physical search was ongoing, the FBI also launched a massive effort to track the ransom money. The serial numbers of the 20 bills had been recorded before the money was delivered to Cooper, providing a valuable tool for investigators. The FBI distributed lists of the serial numbers to banks, casinos, racetracks, and other businesses that handled large amounts of cash. They also circulated the serial numbers to law enforcement agencies across the country and abroad. Despite these efforts, none of the ransom money appeared in circulation for several years. The only significant discovery came in 1980 when a young boy named Brian Ingram found several bundles of deteriorated $20 bills along the banks of the Columbia River about 20 miles from the suspected drop zone. The serial numbers on the bills matched those of the ransom money, providing the first tangible clue in the case since the night of the hijacking. This discovery led investigators to focus on the riverbanks and surrounding areas, but no additional evidence was uncovered. In parallel with the search efforts, the FBI conducted an extensive investigation into potential suspects. They interviewed hundreds of people, followed up on thousands of tips, and scrutinized anyone who matched the description of D.B. Cooper. Witnesses from Flight 305 provided detailed descriptions of Cooper, which were used to create composite sketches. These sketches were circulated widely, leading to numerous tips and potential leads. One of the early suspects was Richard Floyd McCoy, a former Army Green Beret and helicopter pilot who had hijacked a United Airlines flight in April 1972, just a few months after the Cooper hijacking. McCoy's method was strikingly similar to Cooper's. He demanded $500,000 in ransom and 4 parachutes, and he jumped from the plane over Provo, Utah. McCoy was apprehended and convicted, but he always denied being D.B. Cooper. The FBI eventually ruled him out as a suspect, concluding that there were significant differences between the 2 hijackings. Another notable suspect was Kenneth Christensen, a former paratrooper and mechanic for Northwest Airlines. Christensen's brother came forward years after his death, claiming that Kenneth had confessed to being D.B. Cooper on his deathbed. While Christensen matched the physical description of Cooper and had some circumstantial connections to the case, the FBI found no concrete evidence linking him to the hijacking. Over the years, numerous other suspects emerged, each with their own intriguing stories and connections to the case. Some were seasoned criminals, while others were ordinary citizens with a penchant for adventure. The FBI meticulously investigated each lead, but no suspect was ever conclusively identified as D.B. Cooper. As the investigation continued, the case became a cultural phenomenon. The mystery of D.B. Cooper captured the public imagination, and the story of the daring skyjacker inspired books, movies, and songs. The case also had a significant impact on aviation security. In the wake of the hijacking, airlines and the FAA implemented new procedures to prevent similar incidents, including the installation of peepholes in cockpit doors and the development of the Cooper vane, a device designed to prevent the rear air stare from being deployed in flight. Despite the passage of time and the closure of the active investigation in 2016, the case of D.B. Cooper remains one of the most enduring mysteries in American criminal history. The FBI's exhaustive efforts to identify and capture Cooper, the numerous suspects and theories that have emerged over the years, and the cultural impact of the hijacking all contribute to the lasting fascination with this enigmatic case. In the following videos, we will explore the various suspects in more detail, delve into the different theories that have been proposed, and examine the lasting legacy of D.B. Cooper. The story of the elusive skyjacker is far from over, and the quest for answers continues to captivate both investigators and the public alike. Suspects and theories. The D.B. Cooper's case has generated a plethora of suspects and theories over the years, each adding a layer of intrigue to an already enigmatic story. Despite the FBI's extensive efforts, no definitive suspect has been identified, leaving room for speculation and hypothesis. In this video, we explore some of the most notable suspects and the theories that have emerged in the decades since the hijacking. Richard Floyd McCoy. Richard Floyd McCoy Jr. was one of the earliest and most compelling suspects in the D.B. Cooper case. McCoy was a former Army Green Beret, helicopter pilot, and Vietnam War veteran. In April 1972, McCoy hijacked a United Airlines flight using a modus operandi strikingly similar to Cooper's. He demanded $500,000 in ransom and 4 parachutes, and he parachuted from the plane over Provo, Utah. McCoy was captured and convicted of the hijacking but denied being D.B. Cooper. Several aspects of McCoy's hijacking mirrored Cooper's, including the use of a handwritten note, calm demeanor, and specific demands for money and parachutes. However, significant differences in their physical descriptions and methods led the FBI to rule out McCoy as Cooper. McCoy's wife and friends also provided alibis for his whereabouts on the night of the Cooper hijacking, further weakening the case against him. Kenneth Christensen. Kenneth Peter Christensen, a former paratrooper and mechanic for Northwest Airlines, emerged as a suspect after his brother Lyle Christensen came forward years after Kenneth's death. Lyle claimed that Kenneth had confessed to being D.B. Cooper on his deathbed, sparking interest in his possible involvement. Kenneth matched the physical description of Cooper and had experience with both parachuting and aviation. He also had a history with Northwest Airlines, giving him insider knowledge of the airline's operations. However, the FBI found no concrete evidence linking him to the hijacking. While Christensen remains a popular suspect among amateur sleuths, the lack of definitive proof has kept his status as Cooper uncertain. Dwayne Weber. Dwayne Weber, a World War II veteran with a criminal record, became a suspect when his widow, Jo Weber, claimed that Dwayne had confessed to being D.B. Cooper on his deathbed. Jo recalled Dwayne having nightmares about jumping from an airplane and possessing knowledge about details of the hijacking that were not public at the time. The FBI investigated Weber's claims and found that he had used multiple aliases throughout his life and had a criminal background. However, fingerprints and DNA samples collected from the hijacked plane did not match Weber's, leading the FBI to rule him out as a suspect. Despite this, some continue to believe that Weber was indeed D.B. Cooper, based on the circumstantial evidence and his widow's assertions. Robert Rackstraw. Robert Rackstraw, a former Army paratrooper and helicopter pilot, was another intriguing suspect. He had a history of criminal activity and was known for his intelligence and resourcefulness. Rackstraw's military background and parachuting experience made him a plausible candidate for being D.B. Cooper. In 2018, a team of cold case investigators led by Tom Colbert claimed to have uncovered evidence linking Rackstraw to the hijacking. They pointed to coded messages and letters allegedly sent by Cooper that matched Rackstraw's known aliases and military background. However, the FBI did not find this evidence compelling enough to reopen the case, and Rackstraw denied being Cooper until his death in 2019. Other theories. Beyond these prominent suspects, numerous other theories and potential identities have been proposed, each adding to the mystique of the D.B. Cooper case. Some theories suggest that Cooper did not survive the jump and perished in the wilderness, with his remains hidden by the dense forest. Others speculate that Cooper had an accomplice waiting to help him after he landed, facilitating his escape and subsequent disappearance. Another theory posits that Cooper was an experienced skydiver or had a military background given his apparent knowledge of parachuting and aviation. This theory aligns with the meticulous planning and precise demands Cooper made during the hijacking, suggesting a man with significant expertise and preparation. Some investigators have suggested that Cooper's true identity was never discovered because he adopted a new identity and lived quietly, blending into society without drawing attention. The discovery of the ransom money along the Columbia River in 1980 supports this theory, as it indicates that at least some of the money remained unspent, possibly hidden or discarded by Cooper. The cultural impact. The Cooper case has transcended its status as a criminal investigation to become a cultural phenomenon. The mystery of the daring skyjacker has inspired countless books, movies, songs, and documentaries, each offering its interpretation of the events and potential solutions to the enigma. Cooper has become a folk hero of sorts, symbolizing audacity, ingenuity, and the allure of the unknown. The case has also had a lasting impact on aviation security. In the aftermath of the hijacking, airlines and the FAA implemented new procedures to prevent similar incidents. The Cooper vane, a device designed to prevent the rear air stare from being deployed in flight, became standard equipment on Boeing 727s and other aircraft. Additionally, cockpit doors were reinforced and equipped with peepholes, allowing pilots to monitor the cabin without opening the door. Despite the passage of time and the closure of the active investigation in 2016, the quest for answers continues. Amateur sleuths, investigative journalists, and armchair detectives remain captivated by the mystery of D.B. Cooper, driven by the hope that one day the truth will be revealed. As we continue our exploration of this fascinating case, the subsequent videos will delve deeper into the various suspects, theories, and evidence that have emerged over the years. The story of D.B. Cooper is a complex tapestry of audacity, mystery, and relentless pursuit, one that continues to captivate and baffle both experts and enthusiasts alike. Forensic evidence and modern investigations. The D.B. Cooper case has seen extensive forensic analysis and modern investigative techniques, each aiming to unravel the mystery of the elusive hijacker. As technology advanced, the FBI and other law enforcement agencies revisited the case, applying new methods to old evidence. This video explores the various forensic efforts and modern investigations that have kept the D.B. Cooper mystery alive. The initial forensic efforts. In the immediate aftermath of the hijacking, the FBI collected and analyzed evidence from Flight 305. The most significant items left behind by Cooper were his black clip-on tie and tie clasp. These items were sent to the FBI laboratory for analysis, with the hope that they might yield fingerprints, hair, or other trace evidence. However, the initial examinations provided few leads. The tie did not contain any discernible fingerprints, and no hair or fiber evidence was found that could conclusively link Cooper to a known individual. Advances in DNA analysis. As DNA technology evolved, the FBI revisited the evidence in the D.B. Cooper case. In the early 2000s, the tie was re-examined using advanced DNA testing methods. Investigators found a partial DNA profile from a few small genetic markers, but it was not sufficient to conclusively identify Cooper. This partial profile was compared against known suspects, including Richard Floyd McCoy and Kenneth Christensen, but no matches were found. The DNA sample was also uploaded to national databases, allowing for cross-referencing with other criminal cases and known profiles. Despite these efforts, the DNA did not match any existing records, leaving the case unresolved. While the partial DNA profile has not led to a definitive identification, it remains a crucial piece of evidence that could one day provide answers if matched with new suspects or genetic data. The 1980 money discovery. The discovery of deteriorated $20 bills along the banks of the Columbia River in 1980 provided a significant breakthrough in the case. The money found by 8-year-old Brian Ingram was confirmed to be part of the ransom given to Cooper. The serial numbers on the bills matched those recorded by the FBI, making this the first concrete evidence linked to the hijacking since the night it occurred. This discovery led investigators to focus on the Columbia River area, speculating that Cooper may have lost the money during his jump or while making his escape. The condition of the bills suggested they had been buried for some time, possibly carried downstream from the original drop zone. Despite extensive searches in the area, no further evidence was uncovered, and the exact circumstances of how the money ended up on the riverbank remain a mystery. The titanium particles. In 2007, the FBI made another intriguing discovery during a re-examination of Cooper's tie. Forensic experts found small particles of pure titanium embedded in the tie's fabric. This finding was unusual because pure titanium was rare and primarily used in specialized industries such as aerospace and electronics in the early 1970s. The presence of these particles suggested that Cooper might have worked in or had access to such industries, providing a new lead for investigators to pursue. Despite the promising nature of this discovery, no definitive connections were made between the titanium particles and any known suspects or industries. The finding did, however, support the theory that Cooper had technical knowledge and experience, further complicating the search for his true identity. Modern investigative techniques. The rise of digital technology and internet communities has breathed new life into the D.B. Cooper case. Amateur sleuths, investigative journalists, and online forums have dedicated countless hours to analyzing evidence, sharing theories, and identifying potential new suspects. This collaborative effort has led to several intriguing developments and theories that have kept the case in the public eye. One such effort was led by Tom Colbert, an investigative journalist who formed a team of cold case experts to re-examine the evidence. Colbert's team focused on Robert Rackstraw, a former Army paratrooper and helicopter pilot, and claimed to have found coded messages and letters allegedly sent by Cooper that linked him to Rackstraw. While the FBI did not reopen the case based on this evidence, Colbert's work sparked renewed interest and debate. The advent of crowdsourced investigations has also led to the identification of new suspects and potential leads. Online communities such as the D.B. Cooper Forum have brought together enthusiasts and experts to dissect every aspect of the case, from flight path analysis to forensic evidence. This collective effort has generated a wealth of information and theories, keeping the mystery of D.B. Cooper is alive and relevant. The legacy of the D.B. Cooper case. The D.B. Cooper case has had a lasting impact on both law enforcement and popular culture. The hijacking prompted significant changes in aviation security, including the implementation of stricter screening procedures and the development of the Cooper vane to prevent in-flight deployment of rear air stairs. These measures have contributed to the overall safety of commercial aviation. Culturally, the case has inspired numerous books, films, and television shows, each offering its interpretation of the events and potential solutions to the mystery. Cooper's daring escape and the enduring enigma of his fate have cemented his status as a folk hero and a symbol of audacity and defiance. As we continue our exploration of this fascinating case, the subsequent videos will delve into the various suspects, theories, and evidence that have emerged over the years. The story of D.B. Cooper is a complex tapestry of audacity, mystery, and relentless pursuit, one that continues to captivate and baffle both experts and enthusiasts alike. The impact on aviation security. The D.B. Cooper hijacking had a profound impact on aviation security, leading to significant changes in how airlines and regulatory bodies approached passenger safety and hijacking prevention. In this video, we explore the immediate and long-term effects of the Cooper case on aviation security measures and the broader implications for air travel safety. Immediate reactions and changes. In the immediate aftermath of the D.B. Cooper hijacking, the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, and airlines recognized the need for enhanced security measures to prevent similar incidents. The hijacking exposed vulnerabilities in the existing system and prompted a swift response to address these gaps. One of the first measures implemented was the installation of peepholes in cockpit doors. This allowed pilots to observe the cabin without opening the door, thereby maintaining control and visibility during flights. Additionally, the FAA mandated that cockpit doors remain locked during flights, preventing unauthorized access by passengers. The Cooper vane, a mechanical device designed to prevent the rear air stair of a Boeing 727 from being lowered in flight, was developed and installed on aircraft. This simple yet effective measure directly addressed the method Cooper used to make his escape, ensuring that future hijackers could not replicate his actions. Sky marshals and increased screening. The D.B. Cooper hijacking also led to the expansion of the Federal Air Marshal Service. Sky marshals were deployed on select flights to deter and respond to hijacking attempts. These trained law enforcement officers provided an additional layer of security, capable of intervening in hijacking situations and protecting passengers and crew. Increased passenger screening was another significant change resulting from the Cooper hijacking. Prior to the incident, security screenings were relatively lax, with minimal checks on passengers and their belongings. In response to the hijacking, the FAA implemented more rigorous screening procedures, including the use of metal detectors and X-ray machines to inspect carry-on luggage. These measures aim to detect and prevent the carrying of weapons or explosives onto aircraft. Long-term security measures. The long-term impact of the D.B. Cooper hijacking can be seen in the comprehensive security measures that have become standard in the aviation industry. The heightened awareness of hijacking threats led to the establishment of the Transportation Security Administration, TSA, in 2001, following the September 11th attacks. The TSA introduced a range of security protocols, including full-body scanners, enhanced pat-downs, and stricter identification requirements. The Cooper case also influenced the development of protocols for handling hijacking situations. Airlines and regulatory bodies established procedures for communicating with hijackers, negotiating demands, and coordinating responses with law enforcement agencies. These protocols aim to ensure the safety of passengers and crew while facilitating the resolution of hijacking incidents. The evolution of passenger and baggage screening. Over the years, passenger and baggage screening processes have continued to evolve, incorporating advanced technology and intelligence-driven methods. Modern screening systems include biometric identification, behavioral detection techniques, and automated threat detection algorithms. These innovations enhance the ability to identify and mitigate potential threats, ensuring a higher level of security for air travel. The introduction of the Trusted Traveler program, which includes TSA PreCheck and Global Entry, reflects the balance between security and passenger convenience. These programs allow pre-screened passengers to expedite the security process while maintaining rigorous standards for safety. The focus on risk-based screening enables security agencies to allocate resources more effectively, targeting higher-risk individuals and activities. The legacy of the D.B. Cooper hijacking. The D.B. Cooper hijacking remains a pivotal moment in the history of aviation security. The case highlighted the vulnerabilities of commercial air travel and spurred significant changes that have shaped the modern security landscape. The measures implemented in response to the hijacking have contributed to a safer and more secure aviation industry, protecting passengers and crew from potential threats. The legacy of the D.B. Cooper case extends beyond security measures. It has become a symbol of the need for vigilance and preparedness in the face of evolving threats. The continuous adaptation of security protocols and the incorporation of new technologies reflect the ongoing commitment to ensuring the safety of air travel. As we delve further into the D.B. Cooper case, the subsequent videos will explore the broader cultural impact of the hijacking, the continued fascination with the mystery, and the enduring quest for answers. The story of D.B. Cooper is a multifaceted tale of audacity, mystery, and the relentless pursuit of truth, one that continues to captivate and intrigue both experts and enthusiasts alike. Cultural impact and media representation. The D.B. Cooper hijacking not only left a lasting mark on aviation security, but also became a cultural phenomenon. The mystery surrounding Cooper's identity and fate has inspired numerous books, films, television shows, and other media representations. In this video, we explore how the D.B. Cooper case has permeated popular culture and the various ways it has been depicted and interpreted over the years. Early media coverage. From the moment news of the hijacking broke, media outlets were captivated by the daring and audacious nature of the crime. Newspapers, radio, and television stations provided extensive coverage of the event, capturing the public's imagination. The mysterious figure of D.B. Cooper, with his calm demeanor and seemingly impossible escape, quickly became a subject of fascination. Journalists and writers began to explore the various aspects of the case, from detailed accounts of the hijacking to speculative pieces about Cooper's possible identity and fate. The media's portrayal of Cooper ranged from a cunning mastermind to a folk hero challenging authority, reflecting the diverse public perceptions of the hijacker. Books and documentaries. The D.B. Cooper case has inspired a wealth of literature, including both non-fiction accounts and fictionalized retellings. Non-fiction books such as D.B. Cooper, The Real McCoy by Bernie Rhodes and Russell P. Callum, and Skyjack, The Hunt for D.B. Cooper by Jeffrey Gray delve into the details of the hijacking, the investigation, and the various theories about Cooper's identity. These works offer in-depth analysis and provide readers with a comprehensive understanding of the case. Fictionalized accounts and novels have also been popular, using the Cooper hijacking as a backdrop for imaginative storytelling. Books like The Parachute Conspiracy by Robert Serling and Vanish with the Money by Joel N. Ross weave elements of the true story into thrilling narratives, exploring what might have happened to Cooper after his jump. Documentaries have played a significant role in keeping the Cooper story alive. Films such as D.B. Cooper Case Closed and The Skyjacker That Got Away provide visual and narrative exploration of the hijacking, featuring interviews with investigators, witnesses, and experts. These documentaries present various theories and highlight new evidence, contributing to the ongoing intrigue and debate. Film and television. Hollywood has also been captivated by the D.B. Cooper mystery, incorporating the hijacking into films and television shows. One of the earliest examples is the 1981 film The Pursuit of D.B. Cooper, starring Treat Williams and Robert Duvall. The movie offers a fictionalized version of the events following the hijacking, imagining Cooper's life on the run. Television shows have frequently referenced the D.B. Cooper case, using it as a plot device or inspiration for episodes. Series like Prison Break, Numb Fears, and Leverage have included episodes centered around the Cooper mystery, often portraying characters inspired by or directly linked to the infamous Skyjacker. These representations keep the story in the public consciousness and introduce it to new audiences. The cultural legacy. The enduring fascination with D.B. Cooper reflects a broader cultural interest in unsolved mysteries and anti-hero figures. Cooper's daring escape and the enigma of his fate resonate with the public's imagination, symbolizing both the allure of the unknown and the challenge to established authority. The case embodies a blend of adventure, crime, and mystery that continues to captivate and inspire. Cooper's impact on popular culture extends beyond media representations. The hijacking has influenced various forms of art, music, and even fashion. Cooper's image and the iconic black tie he left behind have been incorporated into artistic works, while musicians have referenced the case in songs celebrating the legend of the skyjacker. The D.B. Cooper phenomenon. The D.B. Cooper case has transcended its origins as a criminal investigation to become a cultural phenomenon. This transformation is evident in the numerous conventions, symposiums, and online forums dedicated to discussing and dissecting the case. Enthusiasts and experts alike gather to share theories, examine evidence, and explore new leads, perpetuating the mystery and keeping the story alive. The D.B. Cooper phenomenon highlights the enduring human fascination with puzzles and the quest for answers. It exemplifies how certain stories can capture the collective imagination, becoming part of the cultural fabric and inspiring generations of storytellers, investigators, and dreamers. As we continue our exploration of this fascinating case, the subsequent videos will delve into the personal stories of those connected to the hijacking, the psychological profile of D.B. Cooper, and the lasting impact on the individuals involved. The story of D.B. Cooper is a multifaceted tale of audacity, mystery, and the relentless pursuit of truth, one that continues to captivate and intrigue both experts and enthusiasts alike. Personal stories and interviews. The D.B. Cooper hijacking not only left an indelible mark on aviation history, but also profoundly impacted the lives of those directly involved. From the flight crew to the passengers, investigators, and even the families of suspects, the case has left a lasting impression. In this video, we delve into the personal stories and interviews of individuals connected to the hijacking, offering a human perspective on this legendary mystery. The flight crew. The flight crew of Northwest Orient Airlines Flight 305 played a critical role in the events of November 24, 1971. Captain William Scott, First Officer William Ratitzak, Flight Engineer Harold Anderson, and flight attendants Tina Mucklow and Florence Schaffner were thrust into a high-stakes situation with a calm and composed hijacker. Tina Mucklow. Tina Mucklow, one of the flight attendants, had the most direct interaction with D.B. Cooper. Throughout the ordeal, Mucklow remained composed and professional, following Cooper's instructions and ensuring the safety of the passengers and crew. In interviews, Mucklow has described Cooper as polite and well-spoken, recounting his calm demeanor and meticulous planning. Despite her crucial role in the hijacking, Mucklow has largely stayed out of the public eye, preferring to live a private life away from the media spotlight. Florence Schaffner. Florence Schaffner, the flight attendant who initially received Cooper's note, also provided valuable insights into the hijacker's behavior. Schaffner's quick thinking and professionalism helped de-escalate the situation and maintain order on the plane. In interviews, she has described the surreal nature of the experience and her initial disbelief upon reading the note that started it all. The passengers. The passengers on Flight 305 experienced a range of emotions during the hijacking, from fear and anxiety to relief upon safely landing in Seattle. Many have shared their stories over the years, providing a unique perspective on the events of that fateful day. Alice Hancock. One passenger, Alice Hancock, recounted her experience in an interview, describing the tension and uncertainty that filled the cabin. Hancock recalled the relief she felt when the plane landed and the hijacker allowed the passengers to disembark. She also expressed admiration for the flight crew's professionalism and the calm demeanor of her fellow passengers. Bob Sims. Another passenger, Bob Sims, described how he tried to remain calm and collected during the hijacking. Sims shared his perspective on the unfolding events, noting the surreal atmosphere and the sense of disbelief among the passengers. His account highlights the shared experience of those on board and their gratitude for the crew's handling of the situation. The investigators. The investigators who worked on the D.B. Cooper case dedicated countless hours to uncovering the truth behind the hijacking. Their efforts, both during the initial investigation and in the years that followed, have been instrumental in shaping our understanding of the case. Ralph Himmelsbach. FBI Special Agent Ralph Himmelsbach was one of the lead investigators on the Cooper case. Himmelsbach's extensive efforts to track down the elusive hijacker earned him recognition and respect. In his memoirs and interviews, Himmelsbach detailed the challenges of the investigation, the various leads pursued, and his personal reflections on the case. His dedication to solving the mystery remained unwavering until his retirement. Larry Carr, FBI Special Agent Larry Carr, took over the case in the early 2000s, bringing a fresh perspective and new technological tools to the investigation. Carr's approach included re-examining the evidence with modern forensic techniques and engaging with the public through media appearances and online forums. In interviews, Carr has shared his belief that advances in technology and crowdsourced efforts could eventually solve the case, expressing hope that the truth about D.B. Cooper will one day be revealed. The families of suspects. The families of individuals suspected of being D.B. Cooper have also been deeply affected by the case. Their stories provide insight into the personal toll that the investigation and public scrutiny have taken on their lives. Lyle Christensen. Lyle Christensen, the brother of suspect Kenneth Christensen, came forward with his suspicions years after Kenneth's death. Lyle's revelation sparked renewed interest in Kenneth as a potential suspect. In interviews, Lyle has described his brother's background and the circumstantial evidence that led him to believe Kenneth could be D.B. Cooper. Despite the lack of conclusive proof, Lyle's story adds another layer of intrigue to the mystery. Joe Weber. Joe Weber, the widow of suspect Dwayne Weber, claimed that her husband confessed to being D.B. Cooper on his deathbed. Joe's account brought Dwayne Weber to the forefront of the investigation, and she has shared details of his past and behavior that she believes support her claims. Joe's persistence in seeking the truth about her husband's alleged involvement highlights the personal impact of the case on those connected to potential suspects. The human element. The D.B. Cooper hijacking is not just a story of a daring crime, it is also a tale of human resilience, courage, and the quest for answers. The personal stories of those involved offer a deeper understanding of the case and its impact on individuals' lives. The flight crew's professionalism, the passengers' bravery, the investigators' dedication, and the family's search for truth all contribute to the rich tapestry of this enduring mystery. As we continue our exploration of the D.B. Cooper case, the subsequent videos will delve into the psychological profile of the hijacker, the various theories about his fate, and the ongoing efforts to solve the mystery. The story of D.B. Cooper is a multifaceted tale of audacity, mystery, and relentless pursuit, one that continues to captivate and intrigue both experts and enthusiasts alike. The psychological profile of D.B. Cooper. The D.B. Cooper hijacking has long fascinated not only the public, but also psychologists and criminal profilers. Understanding the mind of the man who successfully hijacked an airplane and vanished without a trace requires a deep dive into his behavior, motivations, and possible psychological makeup. In this video, we explore the various psychological theories and profiles developed over the years to better understand D.B. Cooper. The calm and collected hijacker. One of the most striking aspects of the D.B. Cooper's case is the hijacker's calm demeanor throughout the ordeal. Witnesses consistently described Cooper as polite, well-spoken, and composed, even in high-stress situations. This behavior suggests a personality that is highly controlled and methodical. Unlike many other hijackers of the time, Cooper showed no signs of panic or aggression, indicating a strong ability to manage stress and maintain focus on his objectives. The planning and execution. The level of planning that went into the hijacking further underscores Cooper's methodical nature. He chose a Boeing 727, an aircraft with unique features that allowed for an aft staircase exit in mid-flight. This detail alone suggests that Cooper had researched the plane's design extensively. His request for 4 parachutes also indicated a level of forethought designed to mislead authorities about his intentions, possibly hinting that he intended to take a hostage with him. Moreover, Cooper's precise instructions to the flight crew about the flight path, altitude, and speed demonstrate a knowledge of aviation that is not common among laypeople. This level of planning suggests that Cooper was highly intelligent, resourceful, and possibly had some form of military or aviation training. The motives. Understanding Cooper's motives is crucial to developing a psychological profile. Unlike many hijackings motivated by political or ideological reasons, Cooper's sole demand was money. This points towards financial desperation or greed as potential motivations. However, the fact that he vanished without attempting to use the money raises questions about his ultimate goal. Some psychologists theorize that Cooper might have been driven by a desire for adventure and notoriety rather than purely financial gain. The hijacking could have been an elaborate scheme to gain a sense of power and control, or to achieve a form of personal satisfaction or thrill. This aligns with the profiles of some thrill-seeking personalities who engage in high-risk activities for the adrenaline rush and the sense of accomplishment. The risk and reward analysis. Cooper's actions suggest a high tolerance for risk and a meticulous assessment of potential rewards. By hijacking a plane and demanding a substantial ransom, he undertook significant risks, including the possibility of capture or death. However, his calm execution and detailed plan indicate that he believed the rewards outweigh the risks. This risk-taking behavior is often associated with individuals who have a high need for achievement and are willing to take extreme measures to accomplish their goals. Possible psychological disorders. Some theories suggest that Cooper may have had certain psychological disorders that influenced his behavior. For instance, the meticulous planning and ability to remain calm under pressure could be indicative of psychopathy, a personality disorder characterized by persistent antisocial behavior, impaired empathy, and bold, disinhibited, and egotistical traits. Psychopaths are often skilled manipulators who can present a charming and calm exterior while harboring ulterior motives. Another possibility is that Cooper had traits of narcissistic personality disorder. Individuals with this disorder often have a grandiose sense of self-importance, a need for excessive admiration, and a lack of empathy for others. The audacity of the hijacking, combined with the desire for a large sum of money and the potential for infamy, could point towards narcissistic traits. The elusive nature of Cooper. Despite the various psychological profiles developed, D.B. Cooper remains an enigma. The lack of definitive evidence and the myriad of theories about his identity and fate contribute to the mystery. Cooper's ability to vanish without a trace suggests a level of cunning and resourcefulness that continues to baffle investigators. Some theorists propose that Cooper might have had a background in covert operations or intelligence work, allowing him to evade capture and remain hidden. This background would explain his meticulous planning, his ability to control the situation, and his seamless disappearance. Others suggest that Cooper might have had an accomplice who helped him escape, adding another layer of complexity to the case. Theories and speculations about D.B. Cooper's fate. The D.B. Cooper hijacking has spawned a myriad of theories and speculations about what happened to the enigmatic skyjacker after he leaped from the Boeing 727 into the stormy night. Despite extensive investigations and countless leads, Cooper's fate remains one of the greatest mysteries in modern history. In this video, we explore the various theories and speculations that have emerged over the years, examining the evidence and arguments for each. The survival theory. One of the most debated questions is whether D.B. Cooper survived the jump. Proponents of the survival theory argue that Cooper's meticulous planning and calm demeanor suggest he had a well-thought-out escape plan. Key points supporting this theory include knowledge and preparation. Cooper appeared to have specific knowledge about the Boeing 727's aft staircase and parachutes, suggesting he might have had prior parachuting experience. His request for specific flight conditions, such as the slow speed and low altitude, indicated a detailed understanding of the safest conditions for a jump. Parachute expertise. The fact that Cooper took 2 parachutes, one primary and one reserve, could indicate he was aware of the risks and prepared for contingencies. Some theorize that Cooper had military or skydiving training, which would have equipped him with the skills needed to survive the jump. Disappearance. The complete lack of physical evidence of Cooper's fate such as a body or personal items, suggests he might have survived the jump and managed to disappear. The discovery of a portion of the ransom money along the Columbia River adds complexity to the theory, but does not conclusively prove his demise. The perished in the wilderness theory. Another prominent theory is that Cooper did not survive the jump and perished in the rugged wilderness of the Pacific Northwest. Supporters of this theory point to several factors. Harsh conditions. The weather on the night of the hijacking was poor, with strong winds and rain. Jumping into such conditions would have been incredibly dangerous, even for an experienced skydiver. The dense forests and rough terrain would have made survival and navigation extremely challenging. Inadequate gear. Cooper's attire, a business suit, loafers, and a trench coat, was ill-suited for a parachute jump and subsequent survival in the wilderness. He also lacked essential survival gear such as a compass, map, or appropriate clothing for the elements. No trace found. Despite extensive searches, no definitive trace of Cooper was found in the wilderness areas around the suspected drop zone. The discovery of the ransom money in the Columbia River could suggest that it was washed downstream from where Cooper might have landed and perished. The accomplice theory. Some theories suggest that Cooper had one or more accomplices who helped him escape and remain undetected. This theory is supported by the following points. Coordinated escape. Cooper's detailed planning could have included arrangements with accomplices on the ground. He might have coordinated with someone who picked him up shortly after landing, allowing him to quickly disappear from the area. Ransom money handling. If Cooper had an accomplice, they might have helped him launder or spend the ransom money without drawing attention. The discovery of some of the money along the Columbia River could have been a deliberate attempt to mislead investigators. Witness accounts. Some reports from the night of the hijacking suggest that unusual activity was observed in the suspected landing area. These accounts, though not conclusive, hint at the possibility of Cooper receiving assistance. The identity change theory. Another intriguing theory is that D.B. Cooper successfully escaped and assumed a new identity, living out his life in obscurity. This theory is bolstered by the following arguments. Elusive nature. Cooper's ability to vanish without a trace suggests he might have had a pre-planned identity change. He could have used false documents and assumed a new persona, avoiding detection by authorities. Possible confessions. Over the years, several individuals have come forward claiming to be D.B. Cooper or to have known him. While none of these claims have been definitively proven, they add weight to the possibility that Cooper managed to blend into society under a new identity. Investigative gaps. Despite extensive efforts, the FBI was unable to conclusively link any of the primary suspects to the hijacking. This suggests that Cooper might have been someone entirely unknown to investigators who skillfully concealed his true identity. The deathbed confessions. Over the years, several deathbed confessions have emerged, with individuals claiming to be D.B. Cooper or to have known him. While none of these confessions have been definitively verified, they provide fascinating insights and fuel the ongoing mystery. Dwayne Weber. One of the most well-known deathbed confessions came from Dwayne Weber, who allegedly told his wife Jo Weber that he was D.B. Cooper shortly before he died in 1995. Jo Weber's subsequent investigation into her husband's past revealed some intriguing connections but no conclusive proof. L.D. Cooper. Another notable confession came from Marla Cooper, who claimed that her uncle, L.D. Cooper, was the hijacker. Marla's account included details about her uncle's suspicious behavior and injuries around the time of the hijacking, but again, no definitive evidence was found. The enduring mystery. Despite the numerous theories and extensive investigations, the fate of D.B. Cooper remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries. The lack of definitive evidence and the complexity of the case continue to fuel speculation and intrigue. The D.B. Cooper hijacking is a testament to the enduring human fascination with unsolved mysteries and the quest for answers. As we near the conclusion of our exploration, we turn our attention to the broader cultural impact of the D.B. Cooper case and the ongoing efforts to keep the mystery alive. The story of D.B. Cooper is not just a tale of audacity and enigma, it is a reflection of our enduring curiosity and the relentless pursuit of the unknown. Cultural impact and legacy of D.B. Cooper. The D.B. Cooper hijacking has left an indelible mark on popular culture and aviation history, captivating the public imagination for decades. Beyond the mystery of the hijacking itself, the case has had far-reaching cultural implications and continues to resonate in various forms of media, literature, and public discourse. In this video, we explore the enduring cultural impact and legacy of D.B. Cooper. Popular culture references. D.B. Cooper's daring hijacking and mysterious disappearance have been a source of fascination for filmmakers, writers, and artists alike. The story has inspired numerous works of fiction, documentaries, and television specials, each offering its own interpretation of the events and theories surrounding Cooper's fate. Some notable examples include film and television. The story of D.B. Cooper has been depicted in films such as The Pursuit of D.B. Cooper, 1981, and D.B. Cooper vs. Bigfoot, 2014. Television shows like Unsolved Mysteries and In Search of have also featured episodes dedicated to the case, exploring various theories and providing new insights. Literature. Authors have incorporated elements of the D.B. Cooper case into their novels and short stories, weaving the mystery into narratives of adventure, suspense, and intrigue. The hijacking's elements of danger, daring escape, and the elusive nature of Cooper himself continue to inspire writers seeking to explore themes of identity, deception, and the pursuit of the unknown. Aviation security reforms. The D.B. Cooper hijacking had a profound impact on aviation security practices. Prior to the hijacking, airport security measures were relatively lax, with limited screening of passengers and baggage. Cooper's ability to board Flight 305 with minimal scrutiny highlighted vulnerabilities in airline security and prompted significant reforms, including improved screening procedures. In response to the hijacking, airports implemented stricter passenger screening protocols, including metal detectors, X-ray machines, and more thorough inspections of carry-on items. These measures were designed to prevent individuals from boarding aircraft with weapons or dangerous items. Sky marshals and airline security. The Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, established the Federal Air Marshal Service in 1970, but the Cooper hijacking accelerated the deployment of sky marshals on commercial flights. Trained law enforcement officers were placed on board to deter hijackings and respond quickly to threats, enhancing passenger safety and confidence in air travel. Cultural icon and folklore. D.B. Cooper has become a cultural icon and a figure of modern folklore, symbolizing daring and defiance in the face of authority. The hijacking's audacity, Cooper's mysterious identity, and his ability to disappear without a trace have captured the public's imagination and fueled speculation for generations. Symbol of mystery. Cooper's disappearance and the unanswered questions surrounding his fate have turned him into a symbol of mystery and intrigue. The enduring fascination with the case reflects humanity's innate curiosity and the allure of unsolved mysteries. Media coverage and public interest. The ongoing media coverage and public interest in the D.B. Cooper case has kept the mystery alive in popular culture. Each new development, documentary, or theory rekindles interest and sparks renewed debate among enthusiasts and experts alike. Legacy of adventure and audacity. D.B. Cooper's daring hijacking and subsequent disappearance have left a lasting legacy of adventure and audacity. The story has inspired individuals who admire Cooper's ability to evade capture and vanish into obscurity, embodying the spirit of adventure and exploration. Inspiration for adventure. The legend of D.B. Cooper has inspired adventurers and thrill-seekers who are drawn to stories of daring escapades and daring escapes. Cooper's audacious act continues to resonate with those who admire courage, resourcefulness, and the willingness to defy conventional norms. Cultural impact. Beyond its influence on media and aviation security, the D.B. Cooper's case has permeated popular culture, influencing art, literature, music, and even fashion. References to Cooper appear in various contexts, reflecting his enduring status as a cultural phenomenon and symbol of mystery. Investigative efforts and unsolved mysteries of the D.B. Cooper case. The D.B. Cooper hijacking remains one of the most perplexing unsolved mysteries in American criminal history. Despite decades of investigative efforts, numerous theories, and various suspects, the case continues to defy resolution. In this video, we delve into the extensive investigative efforts and explore some of the enduring mysteries surrounding the D.B. Cooper case. FBI investigation and initial leads. Following the hijacking of Northwest Orient Flight 305 on November 24, 1971, the FBI launched one of the largest and most intensive investigations in its history. The initial focus was on identifying and apprehending the hijacker, D.B. Cooper, and recovering the ransom money. Key aspects of the investigation included witness interviews. FBI agents interviewed passengers, crew members, and airport personnel to gather first-hand accounts of the hijacking and build a profile of the suspect. Witnesses provided descriptions of Cooper's appearance, behavior, and interactions during the flight. Physical evidence. Investigators examined the Boeing 727 aircraft for fingerprints, DNA, and other physical evidence left behind by Cooper. The discovery of Cooper's black clip-on tie and some of the ransom money along the Columbia River provided crucial leads, but did not lead to a definitive breakthrough. Ransom money discovery. In 1980, a young boy discovered a portion of the ransom money buried along the Columbia River. The bills were identified as part of the ransom paid to Cooper, reigniting public interest in the case and prompting renewed investigative efforts. Pursuit of suspects and theories. Over the years, the FBI pursued numerous suspects and explored various theories about Cooper's identity and fate. Despite extensive investigations, none of the suspects were conclusively linked to the hijacking. Some of the prominent suspects and theories include Richard Floyd McCoy. McCoy, a former Army helicopter pilot, was investigated for possible connections to the D.B. Cooper case due to similarities between his 1972 airplane hijacking and Cooper's modus operandi. However, McCoy was ultimately ruled out as a suspect. Kenneth Christensen, a former Northwest Orient Airlines employee, became a suspect based on circumstantial evidence and eyewitness testimony. However, conclusive evidence linking him to the hijacking was never found, and his role in the case remained speculative. Dwayne Weber, Weber's wife, Jo Weber, claimed that her late husband confessed to her on his deathbed that he was D.B. Cooper. Despite some intriguing circumstantial evidence such as Weber's familiarity with the Pacific Northwest and his military background, his connection to the hijacking remains unproven. Forensic analysis and technological advances. Advances in forensic science and investigative techniques have been pivotal in the ongoing search for answers in the D.B. Cooper case. The FBI has utilized DNA analysis, fingerprint matching, and behavioral profiling to re-examine evidence and explore new leads. Key advancements include DNA testing. In 2001, the FBI conducted DNA testing on Cooper's black clip-on tie in hopes of obtaining a genetic profile that could be used to identify or eliminate suspects. While the results were inconclusive, advancements in DNA technology continue to offer hope for future breakthroughs. Behavioral analysis. Profilers have studied Cooper's actions, behavior, and decision-making during the hijacking to develop psychological profiles and potential motives. These insights have informed investigative strategies and shaped theories about Cooper's identity and intentions. Public interest and citizen sleuths. The enduring mystery of D.B. Cooper has captured the public's imagination and spurred amateur sleuths, researchers, and documentary filmmakers to pursue their own investigations. Citizen-led initiatives, online forums, and collaborative efforts have generated new theories and uncovered overlooked evidence, contributing to ongoing discussions about the case. Documentaries and media coverage. The case has been the subject of numerous documentaries, television specials, and true crime podcasts which explore different aspects of the hijacking and the quest for answers. These productions have raised awareness and kept the mystery of D.B. Cooper alive in popular culture. Cold case reviews. In recent years, law enforcement agencies and independent investigators have conducted cold case reviews and re-examined evidence using modern investigative techniques. These efforts reflect ongoing commitments to solving the mystery and bringing closure to the families and communities affected by the hijacking. The enduring mystery of D.B. Cooper. The D.B. Cooper case has fascinated the public and perplexed investigators for over 5 decades. Despite extensive efforts to uncover the truth, the identity and fate of the mysterious hijacker remain elusive. As we conclude our exploration of this legendary case, we reflect on the key elements that have made the D.B. Cooper hijacking an enduring mystery. A complex tapestry of clues. The D.B. Cooper hijacking is characterized by a web of intriguing clues and enigmatic details. From the hijacker's meticulous planning and calm demeanor to the black clip-on tie he left behind, each piece of evidence adds to the complexity of the case. The discovery of the ransom money along the Columbia River and the titanium particles on the tie further deepened the mystery, offering tantalizing hints but no definitive answers. The investigation into Cooper's identity has seen numerous suspects come and go, each with their own compelling stories and circumstantial evidence. Individuals like Richard Floyd McCoy, Kenneth Christensen, and Dwayne Weber have all been scrutinized, yet none have been conclusively identified as D.B. Cooper. The case's complexity has kept both amateur sleuths and professional investigators engaged, constantly seeking new angles and connections. The human stories. Beyond the intrigue of the hijacking itself, the D.B. Cooper case is also a story of the people involved. The flight crew's bravery and professionalism, the passengers' resilience, and the investigators' dedication have all played a crucial role in shaping the narrative. The personal accounts of individuals like Tina Mucklow, Ralph Himmelsbach, and the families of suspects add a human dimension to the case, reminding us of the real lives impacted by this extraordinary event. Cultural impact and legacy. D.B. Cooper's audacious act has left an indelible mark on popular culture. From books and documentaries to films and television shows, the story of the enigmatic hijacker has been told and retold, capturing the imagination of generations. Cooper's legend has become a symbol of daring and defiance, resonating with those who admire the audacity of his escape and the mystery of his disappearance. The case has also influenced aviation security, prompting significant changes that have made air travel safer. The introduction of measures like the Cooper vane, increased passenger screening, and the deployment of sky marshals are all part of Cooper's enduring legacy. These security enhancements reflect the lasting impact of the hijacking on the aviation industry and underscore the importance of vigilance in the face of potential threats. The quest for answers. Despite the passage of time, the quest for answers continues. Advances in forensic technology, the power of crowdsourced investigations, and the determination of those dedicated to solving the case offer hope that one day the mystery of D.B. Cooper may be unraveled. The partial DNA profile obtained from the tie, the ongoing analysis of the ransom money, and the exploration of new leads all contribute to the ongoing pursuit of the truth. The case's allure lies not only in the possibility of finding definitive answers, but also in the journey of discovery itself. The D.B. Cooper mystery invites us to explore the boundaries of what is known and unknown, to question, to investigate, and to imagine. It is a testament to the enduring human fascination with puzzles and the relentless drive to uncover the truth. A mystery for the ages. As we reach the conclusion of our exploration, we are reminded that some mysteries may never be fully solved. The story of D.B. Cooper is a tapestry woven with threads of audacity, enigma, and relentless pursuit. It is a story that has captured the hearts and minds of countless individuals, inspiring both curiosity and admiration. The D.B. Cooper hijacking stands as a testament to the enduring power of mystery and the human spirit's unyielding quest for answers. Whether the truth about Cooper is ever revealed or remains forever shrouded in mystery, his story will continue to captivate and intrigue, a legend for the ages. And so the tale of D.B. Cooper endures, a story of audacity, mystery, and the relentless pursuit of truth, a story that will continue to fascinate and inspire for generations to come. Thank you for joining us on Hidden Horrors, where we delve deep into the mysteries that lurk in the shadows. If you've enjoyed exploring the enigmatic and chilling tales with us, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on our latest investigations into the world of hidden horrors. Until next time, keep your curiosity alive and your flashlight ready. Happy exploring!